Hello, and welcome. Look, do you like my t-shirt? I thought I'd better wear an appropriate t-shirt because today, on this thrilling episode of Prog Review, I'm doing Steve Howe's biography, or his autobiography, All My Yesterdays, and there he is on the cover. There it is. Oh, see? And it's got some pictures. It's got pictures in it. It's an epic tome. 319 pages. Epic. It's an epic book. And look, some bugger's gone and scribbled in it. Steve Howe, if you don't know, he plays the guitar, most prominently in a band called Yes. You may have heard of them. He also moonlights in another band called Asia, but we don't like to talk about them unless it's in the heat of the moment. It's not scripted, you know. None of this is scripted. So yeah, I thought this would be an interesting book to pick up. It's on the Omnibus Press, so it's all official. It's a proper book and everything. And yeah, I mean, I've got to be polite. It's a bit of a dry read. Steve Howe, he's not a man of anecdotes. There are not many anecdotes here for you to enjoy. He likes details. He's a man of... If you want details, if you want to know what amp he played on a particular day at a particular show, he's going to tell you. He obviously kept a diary, and this book is drawn from that diary. And it's not that it's badly written. It's not. It's okay, but he really does concentrate on the nuts and bolts of things rather than, you know. I wonder if it's because when I read a rock and roll, you know, biography or autobiography, I'm going there for the stories, the tales of the road. You know, that night they got lost and ended up in some kind of dive bar on the wrong side of town. That's what I read the biographies for, not, you know, what guitar was used when. I mean, that's all right if you're in the game for that kind of thing, and that's perfectly okay because there are a lot of spods out there. There's a lot of girly swats who will enjoy the minutiae of Steve Howe's career. I'm really not that concerned with it. A lot of the book, again, if it had gone through a good editor, I think a lot of the book would have been excised, and he would have been asked to stick to the stories, damn it. And I think a lot of stories have been left out, probably for legal reasons, for litigious reasons. He talks about Chris Squire a lot, mainly because he's not here anymore, and Squire's various problems, substance problems, but we already knew about that. I mean, that's nothing new. But yeah, it's told chronologically. The early years are interesting. I quite enjoyed that. Again, there were more stories then, and in the early years of Yes, there's more details there. But then it becomes very matter of fact, very much the nuts and bolts of the operation. It's almost as if, like I say, there's this part, and then from this part on, we're doing it this way. Maybe it's when he started his diary. I don't know. I think again it was, I found it very hard. I found it a very hard book to work through, very hard book to read through. But for others, I'm sure, you're gonna love it. You're gonna actually, get through. Yeah, because what I'm looking for, the motivations, the reasons for these albums existing, and there are some interesting moments. Some bits are skipped over. Takes a good. He loves rubbishing Roy Thomas Baker and his involvement on Heaven and Earth, but I don't think there's anything he could have done to save that record. He really does put the boot in on him. Again, this is a world-renowned producer who's produced some of the world's biggest albums. But Steve Howe decides to, like I say, put the boot in, which is interesting. He doesn't like Rick Wakeman either. Not a big fan of Rick Wakeman, which is a bit odd because Rick Wakeman always comes across as someone who seems fairly easy to get along with. But I think a lot of it comes to it actually starts with Yes being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and his speech, he actually quotes his own speech. I'm not saying that Steve Howe is arrogant and full of self-importance, but he, he likes to toot his own horn. He likes to say what's what, and he puts his own speech from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in there, and wasn't very happy with what Rick Wakeman did. Rick Wakeman, he plays the room, and that night he decided to tell some jokes from the Blue Book, and I thought it was funny. A lot of uptight people didn't. Steve Howe didn't, and I think and it's also funny. There is also a lot of bits where people like with Asia, how they get rid of John Wetton, and Greg Lake comes in. That's interesting. You get the feeling that Steve Howe might be behind some of this stuff. But yeah, I wouldn't want to be in the same band as Steve Howe. I wouldn't. I think there is a little bit of control freakery there, but then again, that's the nature of the artist, isn't it? The artists are that way. But if you want a really in-depth, almost like reading his diaries, I mean, that's what you get with this. It does verge into Alan Partridge. Again, if you're not from the UK or not familiar with the comedy works of Steve Coogan, Alan Partridge is a comedy creation, who again can get a bit absorbed into the minutiae of life. And I did expect, because he loves cars, old Steve Howe, he loves his cars, and I was expecting him to go on about walnut gear stick accessories. But you've got to bear in mind, he does put a reading list at the end of the book. And one of the books he chooses is The Collector's Guide to Paperweights. That's all you need to know about the man. He likes his paperweights, does old Steve. So yeah, if you come in here to get the look behind the curtain and find out what really went on in Yes, you're not going to get much of that. He breezes over it, and instead concentrates on his solo career, and like I say, the nuts and bolts of that, what guitars he used, where he was, this, that, and the other. There's not a lot of juice in it. It's a bit dry and dusty. So I found it, like I say, very hard read to get through. But you do get a measure of the man. You do because it's his words. And so you do really know. You get to know what Steve Howe is like and who he is. Though, he admits in the final chapter that some of it is hidden. He's hidden. He's deliberately written this book in a way that hides certain things. And that's fair enough. But maybe we need a biography written by a third person who's willing to shine a light into those dark and dusty corners. So yeah, it's something, and I enjoyed it on one level, but found it very hard on another. In terms of a rating, I'm going to give it 5 All My Yesterdays out of 5, because he actually did it himself. Well done, Steve. You did it yourself, your own words, and that's an effort in itself to actually do this. But I get the feeling it's not the whole story. It's only part of the story, and he has his reasons for that, and we've got to kind of respect it. But you do get half of the story. But yeah, be prepared for it is a long, hard, dusty, dry read, and I've warned you, okay? But yeah, there you go. Just got to wait for John Anderson's ones to come out. I think wasn't he doing a biography as well? That'd be interesting. Anyway, so yeah, thank you for watching. I've been talking about Steve Howe's All My Yesterdays, his biography, which is out on the Omnibus Press. Well, I say some bugger has scribbled in mine. Enjoy the t-shirt. Take in the t-shirt and say things like "nice t-shirt," "cool t-shirt" in the comments, because I know that's why I bought it. Never going to wear it though. As soon as this ends, I'm taking this off and putting it back in the wardrobe for I'm to be buried in this. For it is the most expensive t-shirt I've ever bought due to import duties. I got stung for import duties. Don't buy anything from the Yes store if you're in the UK, for they ship it from America and import duties are slapped on it. So it got very expensive. Anyway, but enough of that. Get the book, and yeah. you can read it on that holiday you booked, about to cancel because of the current pandemic. Oh no, that's dated the video. But anyway, thank you for watching. There's only one more thing left to say, and by now you should know what that is, and that is prog on.